Okay, Survivor Series, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to be honest to you. I know everyone else is going to say their opinions, and probably they're going to say this is a great, incredible show and an A+. But I'm not going to say that. I'm going to tell you how I feel. I'm going to tell you how it is. This was between B to a B+. Now, is that bad? No. But when everyone is going still happy about Triple H still being in control, and I've heard what just Alex has said. I've heard what JD said, saying that things need time. I've told you this. Never believe anything until you see it. See what is for what it is, a face value. Has the WWE been doing good work? So work. Do we need to wait? Yes, we do. But do not think, as I've said multiple times, don't think it's all perfect in the back. I'm not telling you there's problems in the back, but I can tell you 100% that there things are not right yet. Flat out. This show is a prime example of that. Not that they can't hit an A or A+ show. They can't do it. This show just has a lot of stuff on it that just could be left on Raw and SmackDown. And there's just not much there. We get the women's War Games match, which I'm going to be telling you the truth. You know how I feel about women's wrestling. I'm not against it. I want women's wrestling to be just as good as men. The women need to be built properly. They need to be good themselves. And they need a good platform to make it work. We get this War Games match where practically almost no one has gone through it except maybe Bianca and Rhea Ripley before they left NXT, before it got changed over to 2.0. Very few of the other women even knew how to deal with a War Games match. And it shows. The very opening of this match, we had, who do we have first? Bianca dealing with Dakota Kai, who has been in, I just remembered. A few of the women were in the War Games match, the other women were not. But when you see this match, when you see Dakota dealing with Bianca, they've dealt with it before, so they know how to work in the ring. Admittedly, they were a little sloppy because I don't think they've done it in so long. The minute Io Shirai, not Io Sky, Io Shirai, I'll show that much respect, was in that ring, that's when it got sloppy. She was sloppy. At one point, she seemed not to know what to do with herself. At one point, throughout the match, she just seemed like she was so full of energy, she wasn't sure what to do. She was acting manic. I remember Rhea Ripley holding Asuka. Holding her, I think it was a reverse Texas cloverleaf. And you see Io Shirai going back and forth. And then she finally kicks her in the head. And I'm going, what is going on here? There were several botches throughout this match. I think once Io Shirai did her backflip, she actually twisted, or I'm sure Bianca twisted her ankle trying to catch her. I'm not saying that a match like that is supposed to be perfect. No one gets hurt. People get hurt. But it just felt like one thing after another. It just felt like there was some type of mistake that was made. It doesn't mean it was a 100% bad match, but it just felt like half the women knew how to do the match. And the other half of the women had never dealt with this type of match, and they were going off of what they've done before. Was either a couple of ladder matches and a no-holds-barred match, but they really didn't know how to use the cage correctly. And you could see it kind of showed. So in the end, who won the match? The faces did. Of course they did. When Becky Lynch came out with these damn pads, and I believe I got a shot of it in her face. What was she thinking? She was a Road Warrior or something? I don't know what she was thinking when she was wearing those damn those 3 ridge pads on the shoulder. It didn't really make her look any better. It made her look stupid, to be honest. I'm just like, why? For me personally, her look looked dumb when it came to the pads on the shoulder. Did she perform well when she went up against Rhea? There was no contest. If you actually booked Rhea properly, Rhea would be much more present than Becky. The only thing that made Becky so hot was Nia Jax breaking her face. And understand, I like Becky Lynch. I think she's done well for herself, at least until she buried Bianca because of Vince. I'm saying it now. Vince buried Bianca for Becky. That's the truth. That's the reason why she screwed up. The reason why Bianca was screwed in 2021 because of Vince wanting to make sure Becky got what she wanted, which was to look really good, and because she still wasn't fully recovered yet from her birth. That's the truth. Let's move on. Match number 2. AJ versus Finn. Now, here's the problem for me. You got 2 members of the Bullet Club, and I am glad that Michael Cole did mention that they both were in the Bullet Club. Yes, at one point someone went into his ear and changed it to the club because, well, we don't want to keep saying New Japan Pro Wrestling too much, even though they did do the club in WWE. I think they didn't want to give New Japan too much. But they did make sure that, just like with Asuka and Io Shirai, they made sure they mentioned their time in Japan. But let's be honest here. Did you care about this match? Because I did not. It wasn't because both these guys weren't good. And it wasn't that the OC was mostly out of it and the Judgment Day was not really dealing with it. They went to the back after a certain amount of time. The problem was there was no stipulation. There's the problem. They say this is going to be the last match. Why would it be? I'm not saying it will end. Maybe it has. But why would I care when there was no stip? They needed a stip. You got 2 freaking factions on the same damn show. The same damn Monday night. And something had to change. What changed? I didn't see anything change. Nothing's going to change just because AJ managed to beat Finn. They needed a stip. The question is there one? You guys tell me below. Now, next match. Ronda Rousey versus Chelsea Blackheart. I actually tried to film this earlier, and I was trying to do one long bit, and I couldn't do it because I was getting angry and I was botching my words. Guys, this was the worst match of the entire show. Anyone else liked it? More power to you. To me, no. What was that match? I think Chelsea was not happy with the match. I think Chelsea, it wasn't that she was going to lose the match, but I think she just wasn't into it. I don't know if it was because they had no chemistry. I just felt like Chelsea wasn't into it. And then Ronda didn't give a damn on top of that. Yes, there was one really cool spot that Chelsea was grabbed out of the air by Ronda and doing a judo throw in midair while she's jumping off the top turnbuckle. That was actually quite nice as she's trying to do a crossbody. I thought that was quite nice. But when you see the rest of the match, no, I'm sorry. That match was crap, and the crowd was not too into it. Yes, they booed Ronda because they're supposed to, but I think they were booing it not just because Ronda's a heel, but because the match was not that damn good. I was quite disappointed. They're finally letting the women of NXT have a moment. But they gave us this. I'm sorry. Either Chelsea was not, the chemistry wasn't there, or Chelsea was not into it, or Ronda wasn't into it. I don't know who. Only thing I know, it sucked. Let's move on. The next match, which was a good match, nearing great, and that was the U.S. title match. Triple threat of Austin Fury, Bobby Lashley, and Seth. It was damn good. I liked that match a lot. It was the second best match of the night for me personally. Taking nothing away from Finn and AJ. They did a good match. But this was the second best. Flat out, no questions asked. Nothing more, nothing less. And I was surprised they gave Austin Fury back the damn title. I don't agree with that. To be honest, I think that was a mistake. Anybody else would probably say, oh, this is great. They did their build with him. They reconstructed him. Now they can give him back the title and he can run with it the proper way instead of how Vince had it. I understand that. I can see their point. I'm sure just Alex is going to agree that he deserves the title now because he's been reconstructed. Maybe just JD and just Alex. Even, well, do I believe Jesse is going to agree? Maybe. Jesse, not saying me and him are similar, but I don't know if he will agree with this. he might agree with I believe he probably will agree with JD, but he may have some concerns that this is too soon. And that's what I have. This is way too soon. You just reset him after losing the damn Money in the Bank briefcase. He could not get that damn title. I would have liked him to wait until Royal Rumble to get an opportunity. If it's not Royal Rumble, to let him have an opportunity being one of the first people there to build his ass up into a match that would be great for WrestleMania next year. You didn't do that. You turn him around, change him, but then you throw the U.S. title on him. I don't agree with it. I do not agree that this was the wisest thing to do this damn soon. Was it a great match? Yes, I liked it. Was it great how Seth managed to nail Bobby and then he gets thrown out of the ring? Yeah, it was fine. But do I agree that he should have it now? No. Flat out, forget it. This is stupid. Let's move on to the final match of the night. The Men's War Games, which was the best match of the night. Now, we had Roman be talked to by Jay. And he said, look, you know what's going on. He was talking to Kevin. We need to do something now. And he says, look, don't worry about it. You are my right-hand man. I want you to think as a right-hand man. Leave the big stuff to me. I will deal with it. I will look him in the face and I will know what he is. So he asked the wise man to call for Sammy. And Sammy did come out. Sammy sat down. I believe that's in my face. And he asked him what happened. And he told the truth. He said, yes, he did talk to him. But he spoke. I didn't speak. And he asked him, what did he do? He said, the bloodline is going to betray you. You should turn on them first. And he says, I want to know your intentions. He told him to look him dead in the eye. He says, look, you giving me this opportunity to be here. There's only 5 people in the world that can come into a room like this. That's the wise man, the Usos, Sokoa, and me. I don't take this lightly. The bloodline means a lot to me. I promise you, I am on your side. And he gave him a hug, gave me that look. I think I got that shot. It's in my face too. He gave that look like, I'm going to fuck him up if he lies to me. And then we have the match. Now, I know I could say something about Jay after that, but it's not necessary. Jay starts the match with a Butch. I'm kind of wondering if Butch actually did get kind of hurt because of the way that Jay threw him into one of the walls. Well, not one of the walls. One of the fences. He really was holding his shoulder right here a lot. Now, I'm not saying he wasn't playing it up, but he might have hurt himself just a slightly. When the second person, well, let me put it like this. The next person in the bloodline that goes out was not Jimmy, it was Sammy. Sammy was the first one to go out after the 5 minutes was up. And you could see them begin to argue with each other, particularly once Jimmy came in here. And I'll give it to you like this. Was it drama? Yes. Was it good drama? Yes. You wonder if Sammy's ever going to be trusted. And throughout that match, you can see that Sammy's doing everything he can to protect the bloodline, and particularly Roman. When Pete literally nailed Roman, I believe gave him a headbutt maybe? Was it a headbutt? I believe he gave him a headbutt when he tried to save Drew. You can see Sammy wailing on a Butch saying, do you know who you're messing with? Do you see that person there? That is the head of the table. That's the tribal chief. Do not mess with him. So that was good. At one point, once Kevin got in there and once the entire match started, and this is halfway through that match after they really started it, Kevin nailed Roman. And when it came down to it, he was ready to pin him. But it was Sammy, and I believe I have a shot of that in my face. He stopped it by holding the ref. And you can look at the frustration in Kevin and in Sammy. He's going like, what are you doing? He says, this is my family. He said, did your family? Is this your family? And he's grabbing Roman like he's going to beat the crap out of him. I believe it was Jimmy who tried to stop Kevin by grabbing his leg. And I don't have the shot. I believe I got it, but I don't think I got it. And he gives a good nut shot with the arm to a Kevin Owens. Then whacks him in the corner. And then he goes to the tribal chief. Kneels before him. I don't know if I got that shot. If I do, I'll show it to you. But I don't think I got it. He kneels to him. And he waits for his order. He's literally waiting. And once Roman realizes he's waiting for an order from him, he Kaluma kicks the living crap out of a Kevin Owens. Lays him on the floor to allow Jay, of all people, to basically splat him and get the pin. And he does. And the bloodline wins. And once everyone erupts, Roman hugs a honorary Uce. You would think by now he should be an actual Uce, but he hugs the honorary Uce. And then finally, what everybody's been waiting for, even I've been waiting for it, you see Jay run up to him and give him a big ass hug. And that is what everybody's been waiting for. Everyone's been waiting for Jay to finally accept Sammy, and he finally does. And Sammy is so excited, he rips his honorary Uce shirt. He says, I'm part of the bloodline. He rips his shirt. Doesn't mean he's an Uso. He just ripped it. He's finally part of the bloodline. Holding his hands up high, and I'm not going to put that shot in my face, but you get my point. This was the best match, but the best story of the entire pay-per-view. Everyone was waiting for Sammy to see if Sammy was going to be betrayed by the bloodline or accepted. And now he's accepted, at least as far as we know. Because there have been points, like in the Shield, what happened with Seth turning on the back of Roman and Dean Ambrose, that you think he's going to stay by their side, and then when he betrays them with Triple H, no one saw it coming. So we do not know, either on Raw or SmackDown, that they may actually turn on Sammy. I don't believe they will. But at least not yet. It would be stupid if they did it very quickly. But after what happened with Austin Fury, I'm not sure. Austin should not be champion yet. They should build him up into something for Royal Rumble, so when WrestleMania comes around, he can have a really good match and be really relevant. But I don't know. Was this a great show? Like I said, this felt like between a B to a B plus show. Because most of these matches could have easily been on Raw or SmackDown. The women's War Games match was okay. But you can tell most of them really didn't know how to interact. And then Io Sky, why not? She acting the way she did, I'm not sure. She was going a little too far being silly. And I don't know what that damn thing was on her shoulder. And I'll throw it in my face again if I got the shot of Becky Lynch with those damn pads on the shoulder. Just stupid. But that's just me. Peace.